shots, playing football, basketball, all that old kind of shit. Outside. We was outside. We was outside at least 5 to 6 hours, maybe longer than that a day. Especially during the summer. We was out from the time that sun came up till it went down.
Facts.
And be home before the street lights come on. That was it. As long as they knew where you were watched by other parents. So these kids don't have that, bro. You know, back then there used to be an old saying it take a village to raise a child. We don't have a village anymore, bro. We don't have a congregation of people helping push kids. You know, now it's so many single parents and so many fathers have been taken out of the picture. And besides itself, just look at TV. You can be watching the show, all of a sudden a fucking gay commercial pop up. We have gay commercials when we came up. We didn't know nothing about gay till we damn near got grown.
Now that ain't true.
I mean, come on. Some people did not know about gay until they damn near got grown. I'm saying in their teenage years to adult. As a little kid, you ain't pay no attention to that shit.
Shit, I knew a gay was when I was little.
Yeah.
We used to call them punks and sissies. Hey, then I'm gonna take you way back. Remember Bustin' Booty? Oh.
Yeah.
Goddamn booty buster.
You ain't got a mo that was
Woo, Lord.
gonna be a punk. You keep acting like you keep crying, you gonna be a punk, a little spit. That lets you know the stuff.
Hell, to be honest with you, it used to be Maria said that bullshit. Yeah, look, our grandma used to talk like that, goddamn it. Be like, he gonna grow up be a little sissy, man. Let that boy go out there and play.
Right.
Look, one thing my brother, I'm gonna jump off subject for a split second. One thing my brother told me that my grandma told him that made me laugh to this day. He said he was walking through the house one day and he was whistling. And but it was like, boy, you know only punks and sissies whistle, goddamn it. And he was like, what? He said he ain't never whistled again out of that.
And she was there.
I'm like, what the fuck?
And she said that.
Oh, nigga.
I was fine.
Well, keep making your point, Mike. Go ahead.
Our grandma was the same, bro. But this woman was the same woman that had you in Baptist TU, Sunday school, church service, revival. But at the same time, she was brutal when she had to be. She didn't hold no punch. No. It came on with no difference. She didn't hold no punch. You didn't want to do shit to hear Maria or Helen Miles. Them two hold no punch. But like I said though, dog, you made a good point. They got to because in order to evolve to the next stage or the next level, something it's so pretty young. Like we wasn't taught how to be financially stable. We had to do that on our own. So even then, our parents didn't get it right. Even when we started, we didn't get it right. We didn't get it right until later in life as we kept moving forward. Found out the various different ways to be financially stable. And that's the goal, but the young boys have no clue about being financially stable. And then, like, let's just use the drug. Let's use the drug game for example. It's free money, free picking. people think that's their career. No, that's something that you get in and get out. That's nothing that you don't make a career out of. If you don't get jammed up, you get that ass in, make your money, get that ass down. That's the labor. That's all it's for. It's not this longevity thing. Longevity years behind ball.
Let me ask y'all something.
Mm-hmm.
How many mothers out there do you think pushing their sons out to the street to get that fast money?
Now, I have seen that quite a bit, actually. Like, I'm not going to say they necessarily push them, but they know about it. And they don't do anything to try to stop it. Because here's the deal. Smoke, you kind of said something a little earlier to it. I think what we lost, well, of course what we lost was the two-family home. We lost that. But even beyond that, we lost it used to be the whole tribe, the congregation, everybody helped raise your child. You got encouragement from everywhere. Because I think back on my life, man, and I got it from every angle. Like total strangers. You know what I'm saying? Constantly.
Yeah.
Like I could go to the store, talk about me there. They'll send me to the store. You know, back then when you were young, you used to go get, you know, your grandparents and your parents beer and cigarettes and stuff. So they'll send me to the store to go get stuff for everybody, right? And even the dudes at the store used to talk like that. Man, you know, you got them glasses, know you're smart. You're going to grow up and be a great young black man and do this and do that and go to school. You know, it was like total strangers or people that seeing you on a regular basis talk to you like that. Now, when you said that the encouragement thing, I've noticed that you don't too much see that anymore. You know what I mean? Like it used to be everywhere you went, people told you, oh man, you could do this and make money and make a living doing this. Now, not the financial part so much, but as far as like things to do in your life to encourage you to do something beyond, especially what your parents did, because that was like the thing to do. That was, you know, back then I knew that was the ultimate goal of what your parents and people in your family wanted you to do. They wanted you to learn from them and do a little better than them, and each generation do a little better. But if you pay attention, this generation after ours is going backwards. But don't get me wrong, it's not just one race. It's like they saying across the board. But I honestly think that it got lost because that encouragement kind of got pushed away. You know, I said that you can say black, but I honestly think it might be across the board that you don't too much hear people talk like that too much anymore. You may hear parents talk to their children like that, but outsiders, other people, school counselors, stuff like that. Like when I was in school, I still remember my counselor from high school. And the only reason I remember my counselor from high school, because she gave a shit. You know what I'm saying? She trying to tell me, you know, you can do that in life, that she encouraging me and stuff, you know. My kids now couldn't even tell you who the fuck their counselor is. You get what I'm saying? They don't even know who the fuck it is. They don't even know what they couldn't tell you their counselor name right now. None of them. Even the ones that already graduated. They couldn't tell you. My son in high school right now, I guarantee you if I called him in here and asked him what his counselor is, he don't know who the fuck it is. Because they ain't never spoke to him and said nothing to him. And the reason I know that because I had to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. It's because you can say it's because of COVID. But not really. Not really. Because even the past was the same thing. But I think we need to definitely do better with the encouragement. Now, I do it. I will say. I do it to total fucking strangers just like it was done to me. Because here's the funny thing about it. I think back on it. Now this is a true story, real quick. I think back on it. The first job I ever had, my uncle helped me get. And it was cleaning up office buildings, right? And I remember it was this old black lady, I think Miss May, stayed over there by Battlefield Park here. And I remember she ain't had no car or nothing, and I used to drop her off. That's the only reason this woman sticks in my brain. Because all she used to talk about all the time when she talked to me, that, you know, these people in these offices ain't no better than you. You gonna have an office like this when you get grown, da-da-da-da-da. Now, at the time, I'm like, man, hell no. Like probably most young people think if they hear me talk like that. Ain't no way in the hell. You know what I'm saying? Because I was out in the street and just doing fucked up shit. So ain't no way in the hell. But that shit actually fucking happened. You know what I'm saying? Just like she said. And I think back on her talking to me like that. Saying that they ain't no better than you. You can do the same thing you see them doing. You just as smart as them. You just got to apply yourself and do all this stuff. Now, it takes some people a minute, I guess, to hit that stride. But I tell people, well, young folks, when I talk to them, set small goals. Don't set your goals astronomically high starting off. Set little achievable goals so you can see that you can actually do something. And then each time increase it. That way it's almost like a drug, a feeling of doing something and actually achieving it that'll make you want to do something else. And then you achieve that and then you just keep doing it. Now, don't get me wrong. Every now and again, something might not work out for you. But don't think of it as a failure. Think of it as a learning experience of what not to do the next goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? Figure out what you did wrong and correct it and do it again. And some people I notice when I talk to them like that, it's an encouragement at the moment right then. And you can tell it's kind of within them anyway. And I can tell that they're accepting, they're listening. But then some people are probably going to come to them later like it did with me with that woman. But here's one thing I have noticed when I talk like that, because people ask me questions all the time. Young folks, they actually listen and pay attention. I don't give a fuck if it's some hoodlums on the street. They actually listening to what I'm saying. They'll stop what they're doing and listen and ask questions, which means one thing. Nobody talks to them like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, because they're fascinated by it and they want to talk about it and actually trying to, soak up the knowledge. So, because nobody really comes and talks to them like that on a regular basis. And the reason I know that is because they tell me that. And every time they see me, they want to have that type of conversation or ask me something about doing this. I have people calling me from whole other states, 800-900 miles away, asking me stuff. And they're right there with their parents that can help them. So it's definitely a disconnect of some people now. Some people that if people calling people 900 miles away for encouragement of how to do something, and their parents sitting right there, both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly believe it's kind of almost a lost art, which it shouldn't be. Like anybody black, definitely black, should be encouraging a man. Now, I'm going to tell you what I noticed different that I thought someone was going to say that he didn't say. I noticed they do it for girls, though. It's never really a problem with girls being encouraged. It's just the boys. You know what I mean? And I have seen that. I ain't going to let you too far into my personal life, but you know what I'm saying? I've seen that personally. Like the differences of you may direct the girl and give her specific instruction, telling her this is the way to get your life right, do this, do that. As a parent, I'm talking about the parents now. Telling them this and that. But then the boy, you don't spend the same time with and tell all this information. You know what I'm saying? You kind of just let him go and he'll figure it out type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Which, me, like if you ask my kids right now, they will swear down I'm the hardest man on the planet. And I'll be like, y'all wouldn't last 5 seconds at my mama house. Because if you think I'm on you, bruh, because I'm nowhere near on you, get away with murder compared to how I grew up, not being able to do shit. But my whole point is, and this is what I tell my kids, my job is to make sure that you are self-sufficient and successful in what you do so you don't have to struggle. One, that's my job as a father to you. Give you all the tools that you need and knowledge you need in order to be successful. Now, if that takes me having to crack the whip and be a little hard on you, so be it. Long as the end result is exactly what the hell I just said. Because that's what it takes. It's not simple as you just grew up and everything falls in your lap. It's a little work required. And it's the right mindset and like you say, encouragement that makes the person do it. Cause I'm telling you something. Every I can call back every